So I thought we'll just launch right from the top, if that's okay. I'll just give you a quick introduction. Ryan Felton, introduce yourself to the guys at the Super Mel Brothers camp here.
Yeah, hey, Ryan from Perth and Chaos Divine. We're a five-piece, and we play heavy prog, and about to kick off on tour with Voyager.
Now, what we will notice straight away from looking into your past history is you guys have pretty much been unchanged as a lineup since 2005. Is that pretty much correct, aside from the drummer leaving for about a year, I think it was?
Yeah, I mean, we had heaps of sort of different members, like way even before we were sort of known as Chaos Divine. So we actually kind of sort of spent a while finding our feet as that kind of lineup, and then we've only really had the one change recently with our drummer Tim coming on board. So obviously Ben was our drummer, Ben Nazrol, for a long time, and then Tim's come on board. He's played in a whole bunch of different Perth metal bands before, and we know him really well. So he sort of gelled right in pretty quickly and hit the ground running.
Cool. So is there any reason, Ryan, why you have such a good tight-knit group with you guys? Is there some sort of Perth drinking water? You guys all like have a bond that you share?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we're just real nice folk.
Yeah, maybe.
That has to be, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you're touring this, I guess, straight into it with Voyager, another Perth band. Is it easier touring from guys from the same state, same city? Like, do you guys already have a rapport with each other? Easier to tour like planes and stuff, or do you guys going your separate ways and you're meeting at the same spot at the same time?
Oh, I mean, we've never really toured with another WA band before, like as in sort of the run of shows that we're doing now. Like we've obviously had single shows with Perth bands over East and stuff, but so it's going to be kind of cool to have a few shows together. And I mean, we when we tour, obviously we're generally on our own, so it's, I guess, makes the show a little bit more exciting, but it also there's also some scale of economy in, two Perth bands going over East, which is a costly exercise, and probably, we spend a lot more doing that than some of the East Coast bands touring. So I think it does make a lot of sense if you can sort of team up and do it together.
So let's move on to False Flags, and now we've got the track sent to us as well. Now, you guys have got a bit of success with that. Tell us a little bit about the track first.
I mean, it's fairly new, so I think it's probably a little different than some of our other songs if you're sort of just discovering us for the first time. And if you want to hear that song next first, probably a little bit of a left field kind of track in terms of what we normally do. But it's probably the first song we wrote on our new album that we're kind of working on at the moment, almost hopefully finishing soon. And we actually wrote that back even before our new drummer came on board, and definitely was an intentional kind of heavier step, a bit more towards what the band sort of started out doing, which is definitely more around the heavier stuff. So it's like just a really fun, high energy song that, playing metal as a metal band, you kind of sometimes, if you're going down the prog route, you kind of do sometimes miss that a little bit, and then it was just really fun to kind of focus on, let's make a super fast, heavy, brutal song, and but keep it in our flavour. So it's just a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to write, and kind of came off pretty well.
Did you have a lot of the impact, not only just the writing of the guitars and stuff, but also the lyrical wise, or was that left mostly to David Anderson?
Well, Dave writes all our lyrics, and he's kind of the mastermind behind all the meanings behind them all. Obviously, very political kind of statement around, countries that are kind of using power to kind of wield over their own citizens, and I think he's kind of got some pretty strong views on that kind of stuff when it comes to politics. So we kind of leave that to him and his kind of agenda, which we're obviously supportive of. But he's kind of the mastermind behind it all.
Mm-hmm. We've got the same thing with most of the guys. I think the singer syndrome, where not only are they the pianist, but they've got the loudest voice as well. So generally, it's always easy to give them the leadership role with that, isn't it? And saves a lot of arguments, I'd imagine, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it was up to us to write lyrics, we'd be just writing about beer and and the footy,
Yeah.
not the deepest topics.
Yeah, okay. But safe. They're safe topics.
And they can get across to your like clientele, the people going to the bars. It would actually quite work with it,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'd love to hear a serious prog band just write about the footy that's happening on the weekend, or like a bizarre.
I would say like the results not going their way because like obviously crooked refs. So you could actually work that. I mean, we've got crooked piracy laws here, but what about crooked refs?
Yeah.
There's a problem with our teams losing every weekend to really bad decisions. I think I'm actually outraged by it. It seems to only happen to my teams, Danny. I don't know about you. So maybe there's something in that. A lot of fans could resonate with that too.
Yeah. I think we should invent our own genre.
Yeah, it's
sports core.
Dad core.
Dad conversational metal.
Oh, absolutely. I think you're looking at the market 35 to 45. They're going to love it, right? Yeah. And I think that's an untapped market.
All the topics you talk about your kids' sporting matches.
Yeah, that's right.
And how exactly. You got to be angry dad syndrome. I know I'm on my way there. I've lost all my hair. I've got enough reasons to be angry at the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on to your album, because we want to talk a little bit about bands you've played with as well. And to mention just a few of them, we're talking Slayer, unbelievably, Mastodon, Tesseract, Animals as Leaders, Arch Enemy, Catatonia. Can you tell us any stories about being on the road with these kind of bands? I mean, we've talked to a few bands and they've given us a bit of insight into what it's like to be with them. But what about yourself? Have you did you get a chance to meet them when you tour with them, or is it mostly you kept behind a sheet of plastic and you can't see on the other side?
Well, some of those bands, we really only played a Perth show with, and as a support in Perth. Sometimes you get the luxury of obviously meeting all the bands. Sometimes they kind of sit backstage and sort of don't let anyone else talk to them, but that's fair enough. But I guess some of the bands, it's overwhelming how welcoming and friendly they are, and supportive as well. Like coming out, watching you when you're playing, as opposed to kind of sort of just sitting by themselves. So cool. I think it's especially over in Europe, like some of the bands we played with there on like the festivals, they're just super friendly guys, really willing to help you out, and that's probably the most surprising thing I think about doing that kind of thing.
Is there a bit of difference from touring in Europe and touring in Australia and with these bands? About same?
Well, our touring, Danny would probably be able to answer that better, but we've only had a limited exposure to touring in Europe, and I think everywhere we go, it's generally in our scene, you're pretty much welcomed with very friendly people in the metal scene, as most of us know. And so, the ego side of things is really not really there, and it's not something we've experienced. Like, everyone we kind of meet and play with is just super friendly. Yeah.
I'd like to talk about, you had a lot of success after the third record, Colliding Skies, and then you got that 2-week tour in Europe. And a second headline spot as well, 2016 Prog Power Europe Festival, alongside Textures, another prog/genty experience. Now, what's it like to kind of take, from where you guys are in Australia all the way overseas for 2 weeks? What kind of planning and mental, basically leaving your comfort zone and financial comfort zone in order to go to another country that you might not speak the language, another form of currency, a bunch of people you don't know? What was that journey like for you guys?
Costly.
Simply, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But it's a learning experience, I think, as much as anything for us. Doing that without, we didn't have obviously funding provided by a touring agency or anything like that. And it wasn't a simple kind of, a lot of the times you're paying an upfront fee, and then you get on the whole production run and everything like that. So we kind of had to do a lot of organising ourselves in that respect. There were some other bands that made it easier as well. So obviously they're being over there, they can kind of help share the costs, and we can borrow gear and stuff off them. But it's a pretty big exercise when you're coming all the way from the lower Perth. And I think a lot of people, especially when you get over there, they're obviously very grateful that you're there, but they don't realise kind of the length a band from Australia has to go to get to Europe, let alone be in the position where the shows actually are successful, and we've had some great shows in Europe, and we've had some, really poor turnouts. But at the end of the day, you have to start somewhere when you do that kind of thing, and I think you have to take the step to do it, and just learn along the way as to what works best and who to work with that makes it easier for you, and try and get those supporters on your side that can then help you the next time you're over there. So that's really kind of what it's about. Definitely a bit of a journey.
Yeah, I guess people don't realise, but being in Perth, it's nearly as quick to fly to Europe than it is to fly to like the eastern states. So you're kind of like caught in the middle here, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes, you're spending all your money on doing the things that in Australia that you need to do to get and then to take that step to go to Europe. So, you kind of have, it's a big stepping stone to do it, and it's a lot of planning and a lot of time that goes into that. And then often, you'll get an offer thrown your way, which, can you pack up and come to Europe in the next 2 weeks or something? And it's just not realistic to be able to do that at times. Yeah.
Was the call to go to Europe based on your iTunes in Australia when you hit the metal charts as number 6, or was it more of a let's take a punt because we want to, see what it's like to be a touring band? Like, did you find that you just kind of wanted to grow it, or were you getting a demand to play overseas and play more touring? What was your call in that?
We got a fair bit of demand from like the European market, just mainly around fans, but also a couple of contacts we have that run like the Prog Europe Festival, things like that. So I wouldn't say there was an overwhelming demand, but the nature of progressive music anywhere really is there's a huge appetite in Europe. So it makes sense that we explore that avenue and try and sort of build I guess a bit of interest there. But I think it's every time we kind of pondered doing Europe, it's definitely something more of an experience for the band and more of an exercise in seeing where we can take things, as opposed to kind of getting all these offers, because we're not at that stage at the moment where we can really kind of make a European tour financially viable every year or anything like that. So we have to kind of make sure we're going at the right time and we're picking the right avenues and picking the right opportunities.
Yeah, fair enough. Going back to like Perth, your sound is similar to Voyager's and kind of to the Carnivals. Is there like a Perth sound, would you say, or do you guys just have a similar interest and it worked out that way?
I think there is. I think there's a lot of crossover when it comes to Perth bands and the way they play together. I think Perth doesn't have a heap of bands, but there's definitely some very strong bands that can play together in the same kind of genre. So I think, there's been a lot of successful Perth metal bands and Perth prog rock bands that I think have defined a kind of sound, and we're getting ourselves recognised for that. Obviously Carnival, Voyager being two of the main ones. But I think it's like anywhere really. Like if you get some strong bands out of one city, it becomes a bit of an icon to that city of that sort of style of metal being kind of renowned. So I don't know if there's any one particular style that's kind of doing better than the other, but we certainly carved out our good space in the sort of the prog scene. But there's a heap of other cool bands doing like really heavy stuff that have gone on to play really big shows overseas and stuff like that. So I think it's sort of a bit of a mix of everything really.
We want to talk a little bit now about your tour. You are coming here to Adelaide, which is super exciting for the Super Metal Brothers, but you're also doing a bunch of other states in Australia as well to help celebrate that. With Voyager as well, which is very exciting. Tell us a little bit about the shows that you'll be playing across Australia.
Am I the only one talking, or is that on purpose?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, because feel free to tell me to shut up if it's not my turn to talk.
No, you're doing well, man. No, we're happy to do it. We got a bit of delay, obviously, because you are basically the other side of the world, because Australia is quite big. But in July, you do have a couple of shows, especially one in Drive in Adelaide, but there's a couple of others as well for this Voyager tour. Tell us about Voyager.
Do you want me to tell you about Voyager?
Well, about the tour as well.
More so, yeah.
But if you know something about the band as well yourself, anything about the tour in general.
Well, it's obviously two bands that have kind of almost grown up together in a sense in terms of the beginnings of where we kind of came from in Perth. Voyager's had a whole lot of history, more so than we have in terms of that respect. But I think, you're going to have a great night. It's a very low ticket price, so it's an awesome opportunity to see kind of a couple of really good bands, and we've got some great openers that are kind of come to support us as well. So, hopefully we get a good turnout and in for a good night, I reckon.
Will you be playing a lot of songs off your soon-to-be-released new album, or just a False Flag song?
No, there'll be a couple more. We want to road test another new one. So, definitely got some new material up our sleeves to play, and we're really excited about obviously sharing that with people before it's released. And, that's, I guess, hopefully part of the appeal. If anyone's seen us recently, you'll get to see some more new stuff.
Will you also be playing your cover of Toto, which is quite popular? That's like dominated. I also like the YouTube playlist. You've had tons.
We kind of have to play that now, don't we?
What? Yeah.
One of those curses we've got. No, I don't know. We'll see. We kind of don't want to not have to play all of our good new stuff. So we'll see how we go. Maybe we'll bring it out if people really want to hear it.
Sure.
Well, yeah, we might not have helped you there, have we?
Sorry.
The bumps here.
Well, last but not least, we do have our famous question, which is a join a band, tour with a band, and break up a band. We're going to name 3 bands for you right now, and you're going to have to join one, you're going to have to tour with one, and you're going to have to break one up. And obviously, we've gone through your Facebook, so we know which bands you love. So, without further ado, the bands are Deftones, Opeth, and Devin Townsend. Join one, tour with one, and break one up. Go for it.
Okay. I will probably say I would like to join Devin because it would be a hilarious laugh from start to finish every single second.
Yeah.
Two is one. Opeth just because of where they play, who they play to. It's just such amazing concerts. So I'll have to say break one up to Deftones only because they've had a good run.
Oh, there you go. And just to upset all those Deftone fans out there, I'm sure they're like Tool fans. They would not.
I know.
They'll be cool with that. What they say, right? They won't be upset at all, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think their strongest albums were quite a number of years ago. So they leave us with a good bit of music. So.
Fantastic.
Well, Ryan Felton.
That's a very hard question.
It was. We love to do it. We love to make sure we stress them out and just alienate your fan base, which is always what we like to do here in metal, right? It wasn't hard enough already.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Before you leave us, Ryan, just tell us a little bit about where you can catch Chaos Divine on the on your Facebook or on social media or any other platform as well. Before you leave us.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way, follow us at chaosdivine.net. We've got a new single up there. You can buy it, stream it, whatever you like to do, and you'll find all of our kind of news and social media links on there. So that's the easiest way. We've got some exciting stuff coming out pretty soon in terms of some vinyl release we're going to do on an old album. So that should be really exciting, hopefully, if we can get that sort of all happening. Stay tuned.
Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us on the Super Metal Brothers, and best of luck. We'll see you here in Adelaide at Jive on the 11th of July.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Take care, Ryan. See you later, dude.
Cool. See you, buddy.
There we go.
Cool.